Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode. We are on the ABCs of career development and C is for career planning. So I want to talk just for a few minutes about the importance of career planning. So many individuals will be at a point in their career and they're really not sure what is next, where they go, especially if you're a mid-level professional, either not seeing what the journey can look like, what the opportunities are, whether you're staying in your organization, going elsewhere. I like to talk about the corporate jungle gym rather than the corporate ladder, because a lot of individuals, especially if you're mid-level, maybe you have tried management or a leadership role, whether it's a manager, senior manager, director, and you're like, I don't know if I want to stay here and do this. Maybe you want to try it out in some other area, so that's more of a lateral type of move. Maybe it's a little bit of a bump, but not, into a VP or an executive suite type of role. And that's perfectly okay. So that could be that your trajectory is more of using the jungle gym. You could also decide that, hey, I'm at a point in my life where I just want to enjoy my life and not be 1,000% focused on my career, and you want to take a step down. And I have done that because I wasn't in the right place for myself, and so I took a step out of a leadership role into an individual contributor for quite a few years, until I decided to step back into a leadership role. And that's perfectly okay as well. But one thing that you need to make sure that you're considering is, what is your plan for your career? Maybe you don't know exactly what it is, and a plan is a plan. It can change. It's not, etched in concrete. It can definitely change. But thinking about, what are those options and what are those opportunities, and what are you doing now to set yourself up for success, so that you're not burning the bridges, you're not tearing down the walls of, what could be, or tearing down the jungle gym, I guess, to get to whatever the next point is. So what you should be doing is thinking about, from a short-term perspective, what are some things that you could focus on? And maybe you don't know what that next step is. Maybe you just got into the role that you're in. So your short-term is really upskilling in some of the different skills that you need for the role that you're in, or that you're coming into right now, which is awesome. Then the other thing you need to think about is long-term. Like, what could be next? What does that next step look like? And what are some things maybe you could start doing? What are some short-term goals that you can create, so that long-term you are in the best position possible? So again, C is for career planning. I just want you to really take a step back and think about, what are those opportunities? What could they be? If you're totally not sure and you're like, oh my gosh, like I feel put on the spot, make sure that you're thinking about this. Talk to other individuals who are at your level, who are doing, maybe similar things you're doing, or something a little bit different, and ask them about, what's their career plan? Where are they going? Or maybe even thinking about the potential of going into another role. Talk to somebody in that role and talk to them about how they got into that role. What are the things they did to prep for that, to see if it's something that you are indeed interested in, or if maybe that's not the quite the right direction for you. So do some investigating, but absolutely take some time to think through that piece, as well as to lay out a few short-term and a couple of long-term goals that you can work towards, so that you have that insight and what that looks like down the road from now, and that you're not just trying to figure it out on the spot later at a point in your career, but you're actually thinking, what is that next logical step for me? And it's not going to be the same for you as it is for somebody else. In some instances it may. I feel like so many decades ago, it was very clear on what those career paths typically were. And now, in this decade, in this century, it's very different. It's really how you want it to look and what you want it to look like. And there's not one specific way that people would guess that you should go. But it's how you determine you want your career to look. And sometimes that makes it very hard, because it's not just okay, I'm at 1, I go to 2. It's I'm at 1, I could pick 2A, 2B, 2C, like all of these options that are available. So really take some time and think through what those things could look like, what those options could be, and start to structure your goals around them, and you'll be in such a better place and be more successful in taking those next steps.